All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to another Relentless recap. As you guys can see from the thumbnail, it's not looking too good today. Rough day, down 4,000 bucks. Very, very disappointing day today. Felt pretty good from the open through and through to the end. And, going back to yesterday's recap, it's so crazy that yesterday I felt worse than I feel today. Today I kind of just feel like it's another day. Just maybe slight frustration that we ended red, but it's a day that I came in. I essentially did what I was supposed to do. We got caught in a few bad trades, and on stock ERNA that I thought was very strong and was moving well. I got red early, kept at it to try to get back to green, got caught, got destroyed. I was like, okay, that's enough, shutting it down. So we put forward a good energy, a good effort, just on the wrong side of the momentum, completely got obliterated. I guess we can start off with NNVR. As usual, we found these stocks via Momo Pro, utilizing our discovery section. As usual, as we come in every morning, we go in percentage order down the list, and we'll have all of our hot stocks, ERNA, so forth and so forth, NMHI, and so on. So I'll start off with, I believe NMHI was the first stock we traded, and then we'll make our way through the list. Man, oh man. So coming into the open on this one, for some context, we started off around 120 earlier this morning, right around 4 a.m. Pushed up, did a pretty good move throughout the entirety of pre-market, really. We had a lot of peaks and valleys, which does offer opportunities if you're positioning yourself in the right areas. So the pre-market traders might have had some good trades here, and overall we had an uptrend. So coming into the open, pre-market highs were at 340, and we were just around 277. So as usual, you guys know from me, I love to see uptrending moves, right? For the most part, we had a uptrend, a high of day breakout. Now I did start off slightly red, but right away got myself back to green, up about 500 bucks. We can even take a quick look at some of the archives here, just to show the beginning of the day here, really. So I believe we got. No, okay, no, maybe I traded ATIF first. I can't remember. Okay, maybe I traded ATIF first. Okay, looks like I did. My memory's cooked. So ATIF looks like it gave a nice move. And by the way, you can use this opportunity for you guys to see some of my level 2 here. I felt like today was a little bit better in the open. Wasn't as bad. And actually, what we can do after this, we can look back at yesterday's level 2 in the first minute so you guys can see how crazy it actually was, right? But this is somewhat some of the issues I've been having, like the price that we have here versus what is actually being printed. And actually, yeah, it's still kind of happening. It's 78 by 80, but we're seeing 69 by 69. Let's see, and does it catch up? It's like somewhat behind, 79 by 80, then there's 72. So yeah, very similar to yesterday, actually, looking back at it. But I think yesterday was even more delayed. It looks like at this point, maybe it's catching up a bit. Yesterday was like pretty bad disparity for like the first minute and a half or so. But yeah, this one started off in just like a rush, right? Over, and we're kind of seeing the opening surge working a little bit more now. And so maybe tomorrow, I think just whichever one is the strongest one, just taking the starter, maybe even a little blindly here, could be a way to go. But of course, you have to choose the right stock, right? Which is part of the trick. So I lost some money trying to buy the first pullback, but then I ended up getting to average in properly. So I think I was high initially. Right here, I'm looking for the baby pullback. It's not going to happen. And let's see, how did this go? So I ended up being down on realize a fair. So I had 35 average. And okay, we took a loss there. We tried to buy back 23. And it's going to go even lower. So we cut that trade. I think we only sold one though, and then we bought back. And then we bought back. Our average is at 19. And then I added again. Okay, it looks like I sold it. I sold all and then added lower. Okay, I recycled those shares completely. But you know what? I probably could have done without that last recycle, because in the moment I remember I'm even looking at it, my average just was still pretty bad, right? My average ended up being like pretty bad. And well, not pretty bad, but it didn't really go down because we were still somewhat in the same place. But I started at 35, I tried 20, didn't work. We got our position at 15, which was much better. And then we sold on the way up. So we kind of started a little red, then got back to green. And here's the trade. The trade I really wanted to show you guys here as well is this one right here. So we've somewhat built up, to a fair day at this point on this stock. And look at this, right? So it's gonna end up moving up rather quickly to 50. We're taking profits from our earlier trade, and watch as it gets to 50, right? So a popular trade. So I'm selling this right here below the $0.50 just in case we're seeing resistance. At this point, we're already up closer to 900. It's been a good start for the most part, and this is how quickly the day can turn around. Right here, watch this. So break, and what the next trade I'm looking for here is to break and hold at the $0.50. Look at this. So at first, there's some market orders going through. There's a small seller. It does get through. It gets to 59 rather quickly. And I will say I wasn't as fast to buy on this dip because we ended up dipping to 40 or so. Look at this. So it got to about 60. It's saying 69 was the high. It dips to 39, 40, like 42. So when we usually break and hold the $0.50, we're not like dipping so aggressively, so fast. So right away, the first instinct was, are we just selling off down to 520? What's going on? I give it a sec, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's still gonna work. And right here, the signal from my brain is sending the order to my hands to hit buy. Like, hey, kind of a bit of a fluke that it went down so much. And you can see, I mean, it's milliseconds, but I'm a little late to jump in. And the moment I tried to get that 55 area, man, just brutal. This is just a tough trade. So I'll just let the entire thing play to because when you pause it here throughout the recording, it seems like it's an eternity. But when you actually look back at it, like in real moment, so the moment it's like at 50 by 55, I try to jump in, and the stock just teleports to 76, man. And I get absolutely murdered here. Ideally, I'm in here 50, selling at this level or higher, or hopefully higher, because if we just will go to 76 that quick, I'm gonna think this thing can go all the way to 6. And then the moment I'm in right here, right here I didn't sell immediately because I'm like, wait, are we gonna just pop right back up? Then I notice, okay, nope, that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna cut the trade right here. And good thing I did at least, because it's just, nosedive down to 38, 35, 20, 20, 19. And it's like, come on, man. Right idea. And these type of trades, they suck so much. But what am I going to do, right? Cry? Am I going to just buy the stock lower 10 more times and go into 50,000 shares at now 520? That's not the strategy. There is no entry there for me. The next entry that's coming. So we're sticking to the textbook of what the entries are for our strategy. The next entry could have potentially been a panic flush, which maybe down to the whole dollar or something. Anywhere that would have made sense. So again, right here is the area. The moment I try to get long 55 area, it's just too late, and I'm literally buying at 80. And I get murdered. So that's how I went from like 1K to flat like instantly. Just rough. Just rough. And we had a little bit of trouble on the first pullback going red 500. So in total, how much did we lose right there? Like $1,500 just, in 2 key areas, which is just tragic. And then I didn't think that the 5-minute chart was bad, so I tried the 5-minute setup down here. It's just not gonna work. Average was 80. It kept going down a little lower to 65. and then ended up selling off some more. NMHI, much of the same, man. So this one on the other hand, let's see. Let's see. I think this one was pretty short-lived. Pretty short-lived, this stock. So when I'm pulling it up is right around here. So I just took the loss on the 5-minute setup on AIFF. Now here we go, NMHI. I think if I'm to pull this up a little quicker, I could have done well. Timing is a huge part of this. If I have this stuff, if I have to switch over earlier, or if I'm just watching it this earlier, there's a high chance I capture this pullback with like 4 or 5,000 shares. Even if I took a small loss getting it, they're doing a high chance I could have captured this move. But you know, I'm pulling it up. It's already made a low. It's a 350. I'm now getting my bearings of like what's going on. You can see I'm still like messing with size. It's like, okay, it's already back at the high, so I'm a little late here. And then let's see. This first pullback don't go so well. We ended up taking a loss, and you can see the stock came all the way down to 17 from 40 and then 67 highs. So I got blazed, and I believe I might have tried the 5-minute setup here as well. Did I? Oh, no, I didn't. So I didn't try the 5-minute setup here. Instead, I ended up waiting. And you know what? The 5-minute chart at this time was like topping tail, rejection candle. So I'm like, yeah, I'm probably going to leave this one alone. Could be one and done backside already. But miraculously, and you know, it's like a divergence, right? On this stock, on let's pull this back up. On this stock right here, where the 5-minute setup actually looked good. The 5-minute setup looked good to take down here. It didn't work. And then on this one, where the 5-minute chart was looking like terrible to take, this one curled back up. And this is the type of thing that drives me crazy, right? Because I'm following the rules and I'm not rewarded. And then the setup that looks pretty terrible is the one that ends up going up. So this did V-shaped recovery right back up to highs. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. And then what it does too is we have our 1-minute range. Are we going to go up? Are we going to go down? Okay, we then now have a 5-minute range. And our previous 1-minute range is no longer respected. So it's going to be hard to know where we can potentially expect lows. You know, will it be 40? Will it be 29? Or will it be right back at the actual low? Because this can then come up, come right back down, or perhaps it comes up, maybe it holds tightly 40 and then goes, or then maybe it holds tightly 20 and then go, right? So that kind of, I'm watching at the pattern, I'm like, you know, it's a little tricky. So when we fast forward, it ended up holding 40, and I didn't trust the level immediately right here. So that was an issue. And then on the second trade, the second wick down, I kind of fell asleep a little bit. And you can see how fast it moved, right? From 38 back to 50 almost immediately, and then 60. I tried to chase it to get the 5-day break. It didn't work. And I pretty much was like red on this one. I mean, just look at this move, man. Just, you know, ooh. So I think in the moment here, just like, you know, kind of respecting the stock a little bit more, because we kind of regained. What happened is that we regained the 1-minute range. And this is how tight the fine line is, right? The tightrope walk is that something this small can kind of throw you off your game just a little bit, right? I took the loss in the 5-minute setup here. The candlestick here looks terrible. It's like, okay, let's avoid building a position down here. Then it works. It rips up here. It then feels a little extended. It pulls back. You know it just failed miserably. You're thinking, okay, let's kind of give it a sec. But then it curls back up. And just like that, you're like in the slums. So this is how we ended red on this one, right? So, you know, two tragedies really. There's so much that has to go wrong, man. It's just like nonsense. And then this last stock of the day, which is just this stock here killed me, man. ERNA. Every time I hit the buy button, loss. Every time, let's just like skip forward 30 seconds. Every time I hit the buy button here, just loss after loss after loss. Nothing that I could do. Nothing that I did here, man. Breakout, dip. Now, I will say that I did come a little late to this move up, which is probably part of it. I came a little late here. But the consolidation, you never really want to trade it aggressively. But you can you can do well in the consolidation if you're positioning yourself well. And I thought I was going to be able to get a couple of key trades. I just got blazed and blazed and blazed. And then right here, this move, just like how we saw on the other stock, how quickly it curled up. This one, man, looking like we could potentially see the double bottom here. And I was watching, just couldn't really capitalize properly right here. So it was a bit of a higher low by 1 penny. And then from 67, we got up to 70 pretty quickly. And at this point, it already kind of felt like I missed the move. Like I needed to be in. Right here was a place where I needed to chase the stock. But because I was so inaccurate and losing already, I kind of didn't take the chance to chase it right here at 70. So I missed the lows, didn't chase at 70. And I'm saying chase in a pretty positive way. Like, as in, we didn't get the bottom, but we're still far away from the top to where I can still buy and be able to make something, right? So when I'm using the word chase, it's not like we're just buying a terrible area per se, but we're buying slightly off of support, but there's still room for the stock to go. So I didn't buy 70, and then at that point, it's like, man, like I just missed it. And so I tried, on some dips that came up, and just nothing, man. Nothing. Ended up trying for the breakout. This ended up being a pretty poor trade, and I held it a little too long. Murdered. $300 loss. And then again, murdered, destroyed, and obliterated in the slums. And then after the stream right here, I said I'm going to stop. I took one more trade up at 90, and it was the biggest flush of the move, and I lost $500 more. It's like, should I have stopped sooner? I think so, but there's this part of me that just thought I could have done something with the move. I mean, I think it's the right thing because the stock was ultimately strong, right? If I'm going to be red, I might as well be red on a stock that's strong where I'm trying to capture the move rather than, hey, red $100, let me stop trading forever. I'm done on the day. But I kind of kept trying, hence trying to be relentless. But I had to throw in the towel. I had to know when to say, hey, enough is enough. We're down 1,200 on the other two combined, and now another 2K. Then, just like that, you're down 3,200. And then we took the other $500 loss after the stream. So green 1K at one point. Then a bit of a late pull up. So like, I kind of look back at the day. It's like just, in fact, I can't really believe I'm down $4,000. Like it feels like I'm down 400 is how it feels. It feels like nothing happened. But it's how fast things can kind of go, right? Especially with size and stuff like that. So yeah, from up 1K at one point essentially to then a bad loss getting the better of us. The 5-minute setup looking good and not working. Okay, cool. You move on to the next stock. You're a little late to it. You don't get the first proper pullback here. The next pullback fails miserably. You don't take the 5-minute setup because it didn't look great on the 5-minute chart. It works. You're a little off whack with the range. This is something I got to be better at too, which is like the unorthodox stocks for how I perceive things. Like I just have to still take the levels regardless of it not being super smooth for what I'm used to a good stock being. It's like the stock could be a little like trashy, let's say, but just be reactive. Like, you know, even if it once it's even though it's not holding up the key areas for what should be working, whatever area it is holding up, just take it, right? Because that's what it's showing me in the moment. So like right here, needed to be more aggressive, trying to take these entries that ended up working up here. And you know, small trades like this, you're back to flat. This trade right here would have pushed this green, similar to the other stock. You know, could have been up 1K, right? So in fact, let's go back. Let's assume where we lost the where we got the high fill on AIFF. Let's assume we got a good fill. Let's say we got filled 50, right? Before it actually, let's say bought earlier, and I was able to sell at 80. Now, just like that, I added 800 to the day. This is the fine line, right? I would have added 800 to the day. I could have been up now, you know, 1600 on that stock. Let's say I pulled this one up, and I did pull it up in time, and I caught this first pullback, got this move up to you know, to the high of day. We started off with a nice 600. I think we would have still avoided this particular trade because of the setup on the 5-minute chart. But maybe we would have been more aggressive here, right? Because of course buying earlier worked out. We were able to connect. So we say, hey, you know what? Let's just give it a try. Before you know it, you capture this trade. And then just like that, you go up to then, you know, maybe 2K on the day. And it's a different position to be in, because now I'm basically like hitting most of my marks. So if I come over to a stock like this and I give back half, it's like it forces me to stop, because that's a rule that I have for when I'm on the green side of things. It's like, all right, we gave back half. You just got to get the heck out of here with 1K in the day at least, than to go back to zero or flat. So just like that, the day is a 1K day, and it's a $5,000 turnaround almost, just off of if a few things went slightly differently, aka the tightrope walk, the fine line, right? But I don't know if I don't think I could have traded this any like better. This other one, ERNA, I mean, man, anything I touched just went up into smoke. For a second, I was like, whoa, what's going on? But you know, it's part of the deal, part of the deal. So hit that thumbs up. Tomorrow again, I will be back, hopefully for a better day. Stay safe, stay green. It's been Relentless Trader. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe. Check out those links down below for the classes, for the scanners, right? Scanner, Momo Pro, as well as for the chat room, right? Momo Pro, if you are interested, coupon code Relentless will give you 25% off for 6 months. You guys can always check out the course website if you're interested in learning how to trade. And lastly, you guys can also check out the chat room where it goes down. All right, stay safe, stay green. I'll catch you guys in the next one.